What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the importance of not skipping steps in trucking. Why, if you get ahead of yourself, if you try to rush success or rush starting a business in trucking, why that will lead to failure. I'm going to be talking about that because the last two videos I've done have been about, well, one was about my experience as an owner-operator and what I've learned and how I've learned how to be successful long-term as an owner-operator. That was one video. And then the other one I did is how to set your business up to thrive in any economy. So those are my last two videos. If you're new to the channel and you're not familiar with me, go check those two videos out. But you need to stay tuned for this one as well, because this video will apply to anybody in trucking. This will apply to people who are looking at trucking as a long-term career path. They don't even have a CDL yet, or you just got your CDL, or you're somebody that's been driving for a long time, but you're not having any real success with trucking. You're not getting anywhere. And there's a lot of people like that. That's most truckers, most people in America in general, just rats in a wheel, not getting anywhere. And I'm going to talk about why I think that is in trucking in particular, because that is my career field. And so I'm going to be talking about it, especially in trucking. It's just a bad thing. Like, so many people get ahead of themselves. They think they have to rush success. They don't take the necessary steps to have that long-term sustained success. And I'm going to get into that in this video. So again, if you're new, I appreciate you for being here. If you're not new, I appreciate you for being here. Just please like the video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm if you do that. And also stay tuned till the very end so you can hear my entire point. So why am I making this video? As I just alluded to, the last couple of videos I've done have been talking about my experience as an owner-operator and just talking about the owner-op topic, right? But the truth is, I'm not pushing anybody to become an owner-operator. I've stated multiple times in any videos where I talk about that, I've stated that 90%, maybe 95 to 99% of people who come into trucking should not do it. They should not become owner-operators, or they're not in a position to be one. They may have the knowledge about trucking, but they just don't have the financial means to do it. So what does that mean? That means that when I make videos like this, 99% of people that are watching that video aren't going to be able to do what I'm talking about. And it's great content. I like to talk about it. I'm sure a lot of you like to learn my perspective on it. And there's plenty of other YouTubers that are owner ops that talk about it too from their perspective. I really am just giving my perspective on it. It's not law what I'm saying. It's my opinion about things. Now, some of the things I'm saying I know to be true, because you just look at the statistics and the failure rate of people who become owner-operators, first-time owner-operators, or just small business owners in general. So I know a lot of the things I talked about in the last couple of videos are true. It'll apply to almost any business, really, not just trucking. But the point I'm trying to make is, when I talk about that in those videos, when I talk about owner-op or growing a business, I know that most of you are not in the position to do that yet, right? The point of this video is don't skip steps in trucking. If you're somebody that's watching my channel or anybody else's channel where they're talking about being an owner-operator, leasing onto a company, getting an authority, but you're somebody who's broke, you're in debt, in personal debt, you have no emergency fund, you have no other investments, you don't own any stocks, you don't have a 401k, you don't have anything going for you financially, you have no foundation financially, you don't have that. And what's the problem with that? Well, you can't go into business without having money, especially trucking. Trucking is a capital intense business. You have to have a lot of capital to be able to start. It doesn't matter how much you know about it. You can know everything there is to know, but if you don't have the money to operate, if a business doesn't have enough capital to operate effectively, it's going to go out of business, period. Trucking demands a lot of cash. So I want to be clear on that. Y'all got to know. And how do you get to that point? I'm going to get into that in this video. That's why I tell you to stay tuned till the entire end. I'm going to get into how can you go from nothing to saving up enough money to pay cash for a truck, have an emergency fund for that truck, and start your own trucking business debt-free and with a low cost of operation. I'll get into that, but you can't skip the steps, okay? Number one, most people coming into trucking, they're either in debt or maybe they don't have any debt, but they have no savings, like I just alluded to. So let's say you get into trucking, you want to go to a school, get your license, get your training done. The truth about your career for the first 2 years, in my opinion, some people skip the steps, like I said, but you will get burned. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get burned if you try to skip these steps. You go in, you want to get experience. You want to get experience doing the job. You want to get in, you want to work with that trainer and then get into your own truck. And then for at least a year before you even think about buying a truck or leasing a truck, you should be getting your experience, get good at the job, right? If you are wanting to get into trucking and specialize, say you're wanting to do flatbed and then work your way up to oversized load, heavy haul, step deck, whatever it is, you want to learn the skill. Because trucking, we all forget, a lot of us who are veteran truck drivers, now I've only been doing it for 6 years, but people that have done it for 3 years or more, we always forget how long it takes to really get good at trucking. I would say it takes a couple years to get good at managing your time, get good at backing, get good at, doing whatever it is you're doing, whether you're doing flatbed, dry van, reefer, step, whatever division you're in. It takes a while to master doing that job and making it second nature, right? So I really believe that first year or two should be dedicated to just getting your experience and getting good at what you're doing. And while at the same time, I'll talk about the financial aspect of it that you should be doing from day one, number one. But that's number one. Don't even worry about buying a truck. Don't worry about, it's cool to learn about it while you're driving, learn about it. If that's your long-term goal, shoot, do it. But honestly, a lot of people, they need to give trucking a few years too. Some of the best advice I ever got was from the instructor at my CDL school at Millis. He told me, I told him all my goals. He asked me, why are you getting into trucking? I told him, hey, I want to be an owner op, maybe grow a fleet one day. I have all these ambitions with trucking. And he told me, I'm going to give you some advice. Wait at least 5 years and just drive company for 5 years and see if you even still like trucking after that. Because the truth is, most people quit trucking after 1 year or before 1 year is up. Most people do, and especially don't make it after 5 years. So, and that was some of the best advice ever, because after 5 years, and I ended up, it's funny, I didn't have to wait that long. I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to go into business and trucking for the last year and a half, but the timing happened to be about 5.5 years before I bought a truck and decided to do that. But that entire time, what did I do? I focused on doing what? Getting my experience, learning the skill of trucking, learning the trade. And then that entire time, I was listening to audiobooks, I was reading books, I was taking classes on business. I've mentioned this before. You want to educate yourself, because if you're going to go into business and that's your long-term goal, you got to educate yourself. You got to know how business works. You got to know how money works. You got to know about accounting. You got to know about sales, marketing. You got to understand your industry inside and out. I don't know everything, but I know a lot about it. And that's because I just read books, watch videos. You got to study what you're doing, and it takes a while to retain all that knowledge, right? While also learning about other things like investing in stocks, real estate, learning how to put your money to use that you're making from trucking. I talk about this all the time on my channel, and that's important though. Number one, before you start a business or buy any investment, you want to get educated about that. You don't just start a business and learn through trial and error. Yeah, you're going to learn through trial and error because you can read all the books you want, and until you're actually doing it, that's where the real education comes. Yes, but you want to at least have an idea going into it. Too many people think, oh, I'll just learn as I go. That's going to be a very hard experience. So while you're driving, you have 11 hours a day. You're a truck driver. You have 11 hours a day. Through those first 2 or 3 years of driving, while you're getting your experience, you're making decent money, you can be learning, you can be educating yourself on your brakes, take classes, take courses. There's free courses online to teach you about accounting, bookkeeping, all the different things you need to understand about business, right? There's so many books about trucking you can do, or you can read. I would recommend that, right? Get your experience while also getting an education on the side. And then while you're driving, okay, I'm going to talk about the financial aspect. You need to be out of debt. If you're going to start a business, period, whether it's trucking or not, I would recommend be out of personal debt, number one. Number two, have a 6-month emergency fund saved up after you get out of debt in cash. That's a personal emergency fund. Have that. It could be $10,000 to $15,000 in cash. You're debt free. Have that. Lay that foundation, and don't ever borrow money again after that. Above that emergency fund, then start to save your money up to buy a truck. And I would recommend, you don't have to do it this way. Yes, you can go borrow money. I'm never going to recommend that because I know it's not the best way to start. Save up enough money to pay cash for your truck. And then above that, have about a $30,000 emergency fund for that truck. And also to come up with a business plan, come up with what you want to do. You know, what type of trucking business do you want to start? Is it going to be a dry van, reefer division, flatbed, oversized load? What is it going to be? What division? Do you want to lease on to a company? Do you want to get your own authority? What do you plan to do once you do that? Once you get one truck, do you want to go to 2 trucks? Do you want to go to 10? Do you want to grow? What do you want to do? Have a business plan and then start figuring out what you need to do to grow that business after that. But look, this is a process. I've been driving for almost 6 years now. In January, it'll be 6 years. It took me a little over 5 years to finally pull the trigger and become an owner-op. I even had the money saved after a few years. I did that, and you can do that in trucking, especially in this business. If you're out of debt, you can pay, you can really rack up a lot of money fast. If you have a really good company job, you can rack up a lot of money fast, but it'll take a few years. But if you don't rush into it and you do educate yourself, you will be set up for long-term success, right? I want everybody watching this to understand, or watching my channel to understand. Anytime I'm talking about being an owner-operator, the type of money you can make doing that, I'm not pushing that on anybody. I don't want anybody to rush into that or think they have to do that to be successful in trucking. You can drive company your whole career, make 6 figures a year, save a large percentage of your income, invest in the market, invest in real estate. There's other avenues. You don't have to buy a truck. This is not for everybody. But if you want to do it, you need to do it a certain way so that you lay the foundation and you actually have a chance of success over the long run. You want to have that chance of success over the long run. You don't want to be reliant on the freight market. You don't want to be reliant on anybody. You want to be able to operate in any economy and make pretty much any situation work out. And how do you do that? You do it debt-free, have a low cost of operation. That's how you do it. And in order to do that, you've got to work hard. You got to get into trucking. You got to get your experience. If you have any debt starting out, like I said, pay that off, build that savings account up, and then above that, then start working towards starting your business. If you do it that way, you will have long-term sustained success. You really will, 100%. I mean, really, if y'all do, and I know that's very hard. I know it would take a long time, probably 4 or 5 years to set that up. If you're starting from absolutely nothing, maybe 2 to 3 minimum, but probably 4 or 5 for most people that they could do that. Are most people going to listen to what I'm saying? No, they're not. Most people are going to do it the fast way. They're going to save up, $10,000, $20,000, put down on a truck and try to make it. And your chances of success doing that are very low. I'm not saying you can't do it another way. I never said that. I'm talking about minimizing your risk and maximizing your return. That's the goal in investing. I want to minimize my risk while also trying to make as much money as possible. And what I just laid out is how you do that. But again, I want to be very clear to most of you watching me. A lot of you are new to trucking. You don't have a lot of money. Focus on the other stuff. Great. You want to listen to me and learn about it. Cool. But don't think just because I'm doing it, you have to rush in and do it. No, you can make a lot of money other ways. You can get great company jobs out there and not take on the financial burden of operating a trucking company. Whether it's 1 truck, 10 trucks, doesn't matter. You're operating a business. You don't have to do that. You don't have to rush into it, and you probably shouldn't rush into it, because a lot of you that do have the money to do it, y'all don't even want to deal with the headache. And honestly, I don't blame you, because you can make really good money and retire a millionaire as a company driver, 100%. If I just kept driving for Crete and drove until I was 60 years old, I would have retired a multimillionaire. I was investing 50, 60% of every paycheck I got into low-cost broad-based index funds. I still invest in that. You know, I did take some money out to start this business, but you know, if you just stuck with that, if you just stuck with investing in a low-cost index fund for 20, 30 years, you're going to be a multimillionaire. You're not going to have to worry about money at all at retirement, right? And so, you know, it's not for everybody. Moral of the story, don't skip the steps. Just focus on growing each and every single day. That's what's important at the end of the day. If you're starting from nothing, trucking is a great business to get in, and you can make a lot of money really fast. If you work hard and you do things other people aren't willing to do, you can really have a lot of success in this business. How do I know? Because I've done it. But it took almost 6 years to even get to the point where I'm just starting my business the way I've been talking about. And I know it takes a while, but hey, nothing good is quick. We live in a microwave society. I'm going to end with this. We live in a microwave society, and what meal is better, a crock pot meal or a microwave meal? We all know the answer to that. And trucking is no different. No career is different. None. I don't care if you become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, you're a salesperson, whatever it is. It takes time to have sustained long-term success. I'm 30 years old now. When I was 20, I had no understanding of patience and none of that. I didn't think that way. But as I grew up and as I got around other successful people, that's the truth. They put in the work. They put in the blood, sweat, and tears into whatever it is that they did to become successful. They put the time, energy, and effort into it. They made so many sacrifices to get there, right? And trucking is no different. So that's my video for today. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you didn't enjoy the video, put a thumbs down. If you did enjoy it, like the video. If you're new, again, and you stayed tuned this far, sub to the channel and stay tuned for another video I'm going to put out on Wednesday and videos in the future. God bless. Thank you for watching, and peace out.